this week's Money Questions Answered video. I had a really great question from Letabo, who has been approached by his brother to help assist him in a joint mortgage application. So the scenario is the brother bought a property with his girlfriend. They had a joint mortgage together. The relationship has come to an end, and now the brother has to reapply for the mortgage in his own name. He doesn't qualify. The bank isn't approving the mortgage. So he's asked his brother to please assist because his brother doesn't have debt. He's got a good credit record, and he'll assist with the affordability. Now, before you enter into any of these decisions, please, there are a lot of questions you need to ask, and you also need to understand the legal consequences. I'm going to start with the legal consequences. If Letabo agrees to assist his brother in the application, what he needs to understand is that he is agreeing to take on the full responsibility of that debt, not half, full, because ultimately the bank is going to hold him on the line if his brother defaults. That means he is responsible for the full mortgage repayment, and if the brother defaults, the total outstanding mortgage. That is the legal consequence of signing that document. He must also keep in consideration that if his brother does default on repayments, it will affect his credit record. So his credit record's at risk. He could also be liable for the full mortgage. So Letabo needs to have a long chat to his brother before he enters into this. And the first question he needs to ask is, why is the bank turning you down? First of all, it could be a bad credit record. So a bad credit record, some people have a bad credit record because of a single event that happened maybe 2 years ago, and that was outside of the power of the individual, and it's not really a behavioral issue. In that case, you could consider going forward with the agreement. If, however, the family member, the brother in this case, was a bad payer and he regularly does not repay his debts, that is a big red flag. You should be walking away from that immediately. And the second one is affordability, which I think is Letabo's brother's problem in this particular case. Now, you need to say, well, why does the bank think you can't afford this and you're telling me you can afford it? How can you show me that you can afford it? And if your family member says, no, promise you I'll make a plan, that's not good enough. Now, it could be in this case that Letabo's brother has actually been paying the full mortgage over all these years, and the girlfriend has just been a joint mortgage holder. That would be a good example or proof that he could actually meet those repayments. So yes, maybe in that scenario. But I would say if a family member approaches you, please do not get emotional. Look at it, really practically, financially, understand the consequences to you. And only if you are prepared and financially able to take on that full debt, then you can move forward. If you've had the conversations, if you feel comfortable that your family member is really going to be able to make those repayments, and then I would definitely have a legal agreement in place. Something that says, if you default, I get ownership of the property or something along those lines. But please get a good lawyer in, get a proper contract drawn out, because, you're signing up for something that's very, very serious. So I would think not something you want to rush into quickly. Get good advice and understand the consequences. Now, if you have a question for Maya on money, please post it in the comments below, or you're welcome to contact me through my website, myonmoney.co.za.